Hey, welcome back to A Manic Odyssey in this DBT series. This video kicks off the next module of our DBT journey together. We're diving into distress tolerance. To start, we are going over the crisis survival skills. These are skills for tolerating painful events, urges, and emotions when you cannot make things better right away. To be clear, we are defining being in a crisis when the situation is highly stressful, short-term, that is, it won't last a long time, and creates intense pressure to resolve the crisis now. We use the crisis survival skills when we have intense pain that cannot be helped quickly, when you want to act on your emotions but it will only make things worse, when emotion mind threatens to overwhelm you and you need to stay skillful. You are overwhelmed, yet demands must be met, and when arousal is extreme but problems can't be solved immediately. We do not use crisis survival skills for everyday problems, solving all of our problems, or making our life worth living. These are our emergency pack, utility belt, magic handbag moments when life is barreling down on us and we do not have the time to access our more drawn-out skills, like some of the mindfulness techniques we learned in the mindfulness module. These are the skills that can save us from increased suffering and harm to ourselves and potentially others too. When we employ these skills, we are doing a hard psychosomatic reset and helping our body change our mind and thus change the present moment into something we can tolerate just long enough to employ other long-term skills. Today, we're only looking at the STOP skill. As you'll see, the creator of DBT loves her acronyms. STOP stands for stop, take a step back, observe, and proceed mindfully. When we stop, we do not just react. Stop and freeze. Do not move a muscle. Your emotions may try to make you act without thinking. Stay in control. Then take a step back from the situation. Take a break. Let go. Take a deep breath. Do not let your feelings make you act impulsively. Then observe. Notice what is going on inside and outside you. What is the situation? What are your thoughts and feelings? What are others saying or doing? Finally, proceed mindfully and act with awareness. In deciding what to do, consider your thoughts and feelings, the situation, and other people's thoughts and feelings. Think about your goals. Ask wise mind, which actions will make it better or worse? Viktor Frankl said, between the stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space lies our freedom and power to choose our responses. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. The crisis survival skills are tools to help us create that space between the stimulus and response, between what's causing us to feel in crisis and our response to that moment of crisis. A skill we will continually come back to is the pros and cons skill. We use it anytime we have to decide between two courses of action. When you are not in a moment of crisis, it can be helpful to lay out the pros and cons of responding effectively with the crisis survival skills. In so doing, you can have the pros and cons top of mind when the moment of crisis inevitably does arise. Remember also, an urge is a crisis when it is very strong and when acting on the urge will make things worse in the long term. Make a list of pros and cons of acting on your crisis urges. These might be to engage in dangerous, addictive, or harmful behaviors, or they may be to give in or to avoid doing what is necessary to build the life you want to live. Make another list of the pros and cons of resisting crisis urges, that is, tolerating the distress and not giving in to the urges. So, to recap before we end, write out your pros and cons, carry them with you, then rehearse your pros and cons over and over before an overwhelming crisis urge hits. You can't learn to swim in a hurricane, so don't try to be skillful only when a crisis arises. Practice, practice, practice before a crisis takes place so your muscle memory can help bolster you against acting on urges which take you away from your life worth living goals. When an overwhelming crisis urge hits, review your pros and cons, get out your list and read it over again. Imagine the positive consequences of resisting the urge. Think of the negative consequences of giving into the crisis behavior. And remember past consequences when you have acted on crisis urges. It is my hope that these skills and practices will help alleviate suffering and lead you towards experiencing life as worth living. I'll see you next time with our next topic, tip skills, and changing your body chemistry. Thank you again for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this information with anyone you believe will benefit from it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.